Hi, today I'll be doing a simple sketch while I talk, so feel free to sketch or draw along with me. Right now, I'm trying to learn this new style that's semi-realism meets anime. I just cannot get it right. It's mainly the eyes. The eyes were the biggest problem. Like throughout this video, you'll see, like, I was struggling so hard with them. Like, I had to redraw them multiple times, but I did like edit it out, so you won't see like all of the struggle, but it was bad. It was pretty bad. Like, I think big anime eyes are beautiful, but I find them very hard to draw. I like this style though because it kind of has that like I want to say like Renaissance look to it, but that's probably wrong. But it has that like old timey sketchy look to it, where it's like somewhat realistic, but it's like also not at the same time. I don't know. I think hyper realism is not as good as people make it out to be. Like, I think those videos of people doing like color pencils and they draw people and they're like super realistic, like it's very cool, but at the same time, I feel like semi realism is where it's at. Like, I feel like that's most artists that do those drawings, they generally are very talented, but they usually move over to a different style afterwards that's more in the realm of semi realism, which I totally understand because, like, hyperrealism, it's cool, but now that we have like photos or like photographs and cameras, it's not as interesting as like way back when. The nose, I think I'm doing the nose right now. This part was so bad. I redid it multiple times because I tried to do like a slightly convex nose, and um, it's really hard to do convex noses in like an anime style because it's mainly like it's just hard to capture the curve to it unless it's at like a side angle, which it kind of is, but it's also not. I need to get better at drawing faces at different angles. Yeah, you'll see. I erased like so many parts and then redrew them. It was it was bad, but I kind of like the head structure. I tried to do like a different kind of lips than I usually do, because in this style, they do like I don't know, I struggle with lips. I really want to get good at drawing them though. Because sometimes I'll see people like, especially like digital artists, and they'll have like the juiciest lips ever, and I'm just like, how do you draw those? Eyelashes are also such a huge issue for me. Like, I can't. I always draw like each one individually, and then I remember that that's not. It looks too cartoony if you do that. I'm surprised at how good it looks because when I was drawing it, I was convinced it looked terrible. I think this is an issue every artist faces because, like, I don't know, just every time you look at it, something looks wrong and you just don't know what. Especially, like, if you look at your drawing in the mirror, it completely ruins my confidence whenever I do that because everything's asymmetrical. It kind of looks like YN right now. This kind of happens with every drawing of a person I do because I will leave the hair as like the last thing I do. So I just leave them bald for most of the drawing process. Something I don't understand is how some artists record their art process and like get such nice details, because when I was recording this, I struggled so hard on the eyelashes specifically because they're such like a delicate part to draw. So I was working around my camera. I was just like doing gymnastics to stretch around it because it was really hard to get like each of these lashes in a way that looked more realistic. Okay, I think I'm doing the hair now. I kind of just did like curly hair because that's usually what I do because I have curly hair. So I just like to give all the people I draw my hairstyles. I didn't really think out what like specific style to do, so I just cut it off at the shoulders. Something I also hate is like hair being asymmetrical, because I know this hair is super asymmetrical, and that happens all the time. Because I'll do like this very voluminous like hair, but one side will be much more full than the other. And there I am back at the eyelashes. I kept coming back to them because they were so hard to do. At least it's not bald anymore. At least there is some hair there, even though there's no value to it. And I still haven't. I think I'd do the eyes later. I want to get better at doing clothing because I I just really struggle with it. I just give most portraits like a V-neck and then call it a day. The shoulders also annoy me, especially because the hair's covering the shoulders, so it's really hard to track where each shoulder should be. Then I do such simple eyebrows. I also want to get better at them, but since this is a sketch, I just made it very simple. I want to get better at adding value to the face as well, because I feel like, I mean, this is a sketch, so I don't really worry as much about like adding value to sketches, but I don't know. I like to make them messy. The eyes I think are pretty nice though on this one, though I usually struggle with adding detail to the eyes. I think I did the other one off screen because of how annoying it was to get the small details on camera. Now I'm adding value to the hair. I think the hair looks so bad on this. I just basically just shaded it in completely without actually like trying to capture the texture. Something I've been trying to get into is like anatomy because I'm kind of tired of just doing portraits. I want to get better at drawing like bodies, which like I'm fine with doing. It's just they look very robotic whenever I draw them. Like I can draw bodies and I practice them a lot in my art classes, but it's mainly like they look robotic and I want to be able to draw like action type of drawings. Something I hate is when I like sketch something and it looks really good, but then whenever I do the line art and make it clean, it looks awful. And I know why it is, but I don't know. The messy look just always looks better. Recently, I've been wanting to experiment more with different mediums, so maybe in future videos I will do that. Right now I'm just using like a simple graphite pencil, but I really want to get into watercolor and maybe some gouache, I'm not sure, and definitely some like color pencils, because I like to work with them. but I've been struggling to like do watercolor recently because it I don't like having to like pour the water and having to get like a paper towel and all the things. It's just a lot to set up, so I'd rather just pull out a simple pencil and get started rather than worry about all of that. If you like this video, then I have another one where I'm just not talking. That's like more of like ASMR kind of a drawing process. So if you don't like me talking, then I have one that's like 17 minutes long and there is like rain sounds in the background. Next, I wanted to sketch a simple crow, but this turned out way worse than I expected. I thought it'd be very simple. I don't draw birds often, but whenever I do, I mean, they're pretty simple, all things considered. But this one, I don't know, I think it's the angle that I drew it in because it's awful. But I just felt like the portrait was kind of boring by itself, so I wanted something else next to it. Like the talons were like the hardest part because right here they're super tiny, and I went back in later to change them, and I tried to draw them at all different kinds of angles, but they were either like way too small or way too big. I think the shading was off too. It was just a little too messy. The the feathers at the back of the body as well, like the tail feathers, I think. I'm not sure about the exact terminology, but the feathers at the back of the body were really annoying as well. Because I had a reference photo, and it kind of showed the feathers fanning out, but whenever I tried that originally, it just looked so weird. So I kind of made it a little slimmer. I feel like it looks more like a dove than it does a crow. And the talons right there look so small. But I did go back in later after I finished recording and I changed them. I've been trying to get into drawing new things that I don't draw often, like animals and flowers and all of those type of things, because I feel like a lot of artists, we focus on drawing people and we forget about a lot of other things that are nice to draw. I mean, that's not all artists, obviously, but definitely me. I definitely struggle with drawing other things other than people because I have, like, especially like landscapes, like, I'm very scared of drawing landscapes because, I don't know, if you do like wash or acrylic, then maybe that's like more of that type of style, but I do more graphite, watercolor, color pencil, all of that type of stuff. I feel like my style just leans more towards drawing people and portraits. Adding commentary to this drawing process was really fun, so I might do this again in the future.